Hi, I'm Simon K. Jones, and this is the latest chapter of Tales from the Triverse. This chapter is called The In-Between, and I should note ahead of time that it is entirely a conversation between two characters, and I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work when it's just me doing the narration, so just bear in mind as we go along that I'm attempting to do two slightly different voices. This one might be better to read over on the newsletter at simonkjones.substack.com. The in-between. Somewhere. Somewhen. Look, over there, between the stream and the window, in front of the herb garden, you observe those two plinths? I do? Made of ivory, carved from the tusks of a southern garganton. Ivory helps to conduct magic, you see. Hence, we do all like our ivory towers. I am aware, I too am practised in the wielding arts. Truth be told, I know not who you are, or how you intrude upon my thoughts, but it is of no consequence. Observe, atop one of the plinths, the obsidian sphere, hewn from the tail spike of a koth. What happened to the koth? An irrelevant question. This will be my greatest achievement, to transfer the sphere from one plinth to the other. Not through physical kinetic movement, but via direct displacement. True teleportation, within our grasp at last. Your spell does not work. It malfunctions. You have not fully considered the risks. Who are you to lecture me? I am without equal in the application of magic. That is not mere hubris, but a peer-reviewed and universally accepted fact. What results are you expecting from your experiment? Tell me your hypothesis. This is the culmination of decades of research. I have no requirement to humour you, but given we're the only ones here, I will use our conversation as preparation for tomorrow's lecture. Direct transportation of matter has remained elusive for centuries, remaining locked to physical reality despite our best efforts. We can manipulate the elements, we can affect gravity, and adjust individual molecules, but to simply move from A to B requires an object to be carried inch by inch. If I want to position myself at the far side of this hall, I am required to tediously walk its length. To travel from Brulia to the peak, or to the Blue Towers, is a journey of days. The far side of the planet remains weeks or months away. Progress is stalled, and when we are not able to travel efficiently, we are prevented from communicating and collaborating effectively. You speak to me as you would an undergraduate. You do not need to define the parameters of transport. You hoped then that this spell would hasten your ability to travel. Direct transportation of matter. This experiment was to test a small object, moving it from one plinth to the other without passing through the space in between. Instantaneous delivery. Teleportation, my dear. Are you incorporating quantum tunneling into your process? I am unfamiliar with your terms, but can guess at their meaning, which begs the question of where you would have gained such insight. Long-distance energy absorption, yes, and channeled into the creation of a two-point wormhole. The sphere then falls through one side of the wormhole and emerges simultaneously on the other, from one plinth to the other. One plinth to the other, yes. Tell me, who is your mentor? Much of your theory was sound. The opening of portals does work, but not between two physical points on this plane. What do you mean? You ruptured dimensional boundaries, creating the wormhole, but not from point A to point B. You lost control of the spell, never completing it, and opened Palinor to other realities. Why do you speak of this as being in the past? Who are you? Walk with me. Perhaps I can show you. Look, even now the spell is beginning. The portals are opening. They are so much larger than I had calculated. Many of your calculations were inaccurate. The consequence of an incomplete data set and too many assumptions. Do not bother trying to harumph in my direction. Come, we should go. You would not want to witness what happens here. It is so black and featureless. Is it solid? Where are you leading us? Can we pass through it then? Astonishing. The effects can be disorienting, but I suspect we are already more disoriented than we have ever been and ever will be. This is Earth, or mid-Earth, as it will be renamed against its protestations. Everything is different. Not everything, but yes. This is another world parallel to ours. This is the city of London. Walk its streets. You see the people, the clothing, the carriages, the architecture. There are no Koth here, no Ainfar, there is no magic. No magic? What do you mean? How can there be no magic? The rules are different here. These are events that I only know from history books. We call it the joining. There is another portal, look. It goes to Max Earth. Follow me. A third reality. Look at the scale of these structures. What is it that flies between them? Are they mechanical birds? Max Earth's technology is beyond our understanding. They've travelled to the planets. Here, look down upon the surface of the moon. See the lights in the dark. The space station roaming through the black. Come here, to Venus, and the bunkers on the southern slopes. Here to Mars, and the settlements in the canyons, and atop the great mountain. How are we here so suddenly? I suspect we are not truly here at all. We are unstuck and momentarily linked through your unfinished spell. We are moving through memory and space and time. Look at this now. What is it that floats in space, enormous and unknowable? Is this a creature? After a fashion, it is known as a megaship with a mind of its own. It has a mind? It is sentient? Perhaps. Now, back through the portal. This is the kingdom of Great Britain. Watch as its tendrils reach out across the continents. See as it conquers one foe after another. Napoleon, the rebels in the Americas, Eastern Europe, North Africa. The portals that opened up in London gave the kingdom total dominance. And Palinor, what of home? It remains locked in feudalism, warring states and a stratified society. Brulia gains influence through the portals, as did London. A spark of rebellion to the south lights a fire that still burns. We call this new combined reality the Triverse. All three universes were forever changed. This is a greater achievement than even I had anticipated. To think that all I had expected was to shift a small sphere a few feet across the room. All that you have told me, it makes me think you are from years yet to come. I was born almost 200 years after your experiment. Then you know the future. And what of me, of my legacy? Do they speak of my name as the creator of this Triverse? Your name was struck from historical records. The university denied involvement in the creation of the Triverse. There was much suffering, and it was easier to present it as a natural phenomenon. What are you talking about, woman? I would not stand for such treatment. You were not there to defend your position. Then where was I? The spell inflicted more of a strain on your body than you expected. You did not survive the experiment, and much of the university was destroyed. Ridiculous. I've taken every precaution, and besides, that would make a nonsense of us even having this conversation. What brings you here? What is it that binds us together in this place? I have been considering the same question. I am unsure. There is a haze surrounding my thoughts. They flitter away when I try to grasp them. Perhaps that means I failed. Or it could be that I succeeded. Given your fate, I would assume that either way, my time is done. At what task were you toiling? I was finishing what you left behind. My spell. It was incomplete. I was hoping to connect the final two portals. Completing the spell could even halt the advance of portal tears. Portal tears? It's complicated. I have so many questions about this new world. New worlds, I should say. Where even to start? Is it a wonder? Is knowledge still prized above all else, as it is in my time? By some. What you did opened our world to dangers and suffering, 200 years of chaos. If a wielder always feared the unknown, they would never do anything at all. Perhaps that would have been better. Do you truly believe that? Probably not. There's also been much joy. Well then, assuming that we have become connected across time by the spell, and that this conversation is a metaphysical manifestation rather than actual reality, we can also assume that this is a finite moment. We are entangled, to borrow a Max Earth term. The question then, What happens next? I don't know. I would imagine that at some point, once the spell has run its course, we will simply stop. Thanks for listening. You can leave comments, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff over at simonkjones.substack.com.